What is up, everybody? How you doing? It's the big dog named Austin, back at you again with another breakdown video. The Colts 3-0, the Rams 2-1 in Los Angeles, Week 4, 405. This is going to be a good one. Last week, you all know it, Colts beat the Tennessee Titans 41-20. They were able to get after Cam Ward 4 times. Something I'm worried about in this game against the Rams. You haven't really been able to generate much of a pass rush throughout the season. And then Matthew Stafford is a quick rhythm quarterback. He's a quarterback that can, boom, right to Puka Nacua, right to Devontae Adams. It's going to be really tough, especially without our best cornerback, Kenny Moore, who is out for probably at least 3-4 weeks with an Achilles injury. Now, if you're an Indianapolis fan, when you hear that, you wince a little bit. So, Kenny, please sit out as long as you need to. Okay, we don't need to risk injury. Okay, this isn't Game 7 of the NBA Finals. You don't need to play against the Rams. To attempt to make up for that, the Indianapolis Colts went out and signed Mike Hilton, a veteran from Cincinnati who did play under Lou Anarumo. Hopefully he can do a solid job, but he's going to have his hands full with probably Puka Nacua, because Puka Nacua, the slot receiver for the Los Angeles Rams, he leads the league in receiving. 333 yards on 29 catches. It's been 3 weeks. He's averaging 10 catches, just under 10 catches a game. It's going to be really tough to stop Puka Nacua. I am worried about this game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think the Colts win. Spoiler alert, I'm picking the Rams. Matthew Stafford, 739 yards, 63 on 95 passing for the entire season, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. On the other side, Daniel Jones, top 3 in passing. I think he's second. I could be wrong about that. 816 yards, 63 of 88 passing this season, 3 touchdowns. He has 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Each and every game this season, Daniel Jones has put up a 107 plus QBR. So, Daniel Jones has been excellent. He's going up against a solid defense, a defense that allowed over 100 yards to A.J. Brown, 60 yards and a touchdown to Devontae Adams. Not very much on the ground, though. They held Saquon Barkley to 46 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. He's the reigning league rushing title winner, right? He rushed for 2,000 yards, and the Rams did that to arguably the best back in the league. Jonathan Taylor comes into this game leading the league in rushing, 338 yards on 60 carries, 3 touchdowns, all coming last week against the Titans. Jonathan Taylor against his run defense, they can and they probably will stop him. But it only takes that one. What I'm hoping happens is I'm hoping that Jonathan Taylor can average 4 yards a carry. It's going to be a little easier said than done, especially the number they just did to Saquon Barkley. But you keep pounding, you keep pounding, you keep pounding, you keep pounding. Eventually, like that 40-yard run against the Titans, you break one off, and it becomes a big play, sets you up in the red zone, or could even score. But Jonathan Taylor, he's our best offensive player. He's our best player, period. He has won 2 AFC Offensive Player of the Weeks in a row. That is the first time in Colts history since the award has been given out weekly that the Colts, any Colt, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, name any Colt, no Colt has ever won Offensive Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row. Jonathan Taylor has. Last week he had 16 or 17 carries, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns, was excellent, had that big 40-yard run to really just break things open for the Colts. He's the X factor in this game. He is going to dictate whether the Colts can win or lose. If the Rams can shut him down like they did to Saquon, I know the Rams ultimately lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Eagles are defending Super Bowl champs. They had him on the ropes. And they probably should have won if it wasn't for a blocked field goal. This game is going to be extremely, extremely tough for the Colts. The Colts, in fact, have not beaten the Rams, the St. Louis, and the LA Rams since 2009. That's a long time. October 25th, 2009 to be exact. The Rams have won 4 straight. The series is controlled for now by the Colts, 23-22-2. So if the Rams win, it'll be completely evenly split. Completely split. Hopefully the Colts win, continue to control this series, but like I said, the Rams have won the last 4. Colts have not won since 2009. It's going to be tough. Something that has never been done before by any Colts team. The Colts offense has put up 103 points in the first 3 weeks. 29 plus points per game so far. They have not turned the ball over, and they've only punted 1 time. That's historic. I know it's only been 3 weeks. It's a lot to get excited about, but you kind of have to temper your emotions, temper your expectations. I still have the lingering thoughts of what I thought this season was going to be. And I don't want to say I'm waiting for the balloon to pop here, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, are the Colts really as good as they've been playing? Or are they going to get exposed by a team like the Rams, who, in my opinion, are very well coached by Sean McVay? You know, they have a veteran quarterback who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, despite not having the accolades. He's got a Super Bowl championship. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. This is the best. I know a couple weeks ago I said that one of the best wide receiver duos we're going to play was, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. This is the best wide receiver duo we're going to play. Now, Devontae Adams is actually battling a hamstring injury, and he has missed 2 practices in a row. But I expect him to play. If he plays and he's healthy, and Puka Nacua plays, best wide receiver duo we're going to play all season long, bar none. Puka Nacua leads the league in receiving yards, like I mentioned earlier. It's going to be extremely tough for this defense, especially down as many corners as they are. We're pretty banged up, I'm not going to lie. DeForest Buckner, he's been out a couple of practices this week. He's been battling a back injury, the same back injury that he's been battling for quite some time later in his career. Alec Pierce last week left the game with a concussion. He is questionable. I don't think that he practiced the last 2 days. We'll see how that goes. Kenny Moore, I mentioned this earlier. He has an Achilles injury, so he is out. We've got a long list of guys, major guys, who could potentially not play. And I don't want that to happen. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. We'll see, about 2 o'clock, we'll get the inactives sent out to our phones, and we'll know. Something that was brought to my attention by a video on TikTok. The Rams, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. The Rams kickoff guy is so good at like the knuckleball type kick to where he's able to squib it right in front of the guy or right over the guy's head, the receiver who's back receiving the ball, and is able to limit the field position that the return team gets. It has been a strategic, it has been a part of their game. The kickoff specialist deserves a lot of credit for this. They have averaged 5 yards less than each and every team when it comes to starting field position for the opposition team. This is going to be a tough game on the field, the coaching, all of it. All aspects of this game screams this is a test for the Colts. Are we where our record says we are, 3-0? How are we going to look against probably the only team, one of the only teams that can really compete with the Eagles in the NFC? It's the Rams. How can we compete with them on the road, 3.5-point dogs? How's it going to go? Like I said I think the Colts lose. I really, really hate coming on here and being 3-0 especially and being like, hey, there's all this going for us, but we're playing a really tough team, and unfortunately I don't think that we can beat them. I hate coming on here and being like that, because I want to be like, yeah, the Colts are going to win. The Colts are going to go on the road and dominate. But this is just a different matchup. Matthew Stafford is an elite veteran quarterback who, like I said, is going to go into the Hall of Fame. He is going to pick our defense apart. My only hope is that we can get some pressure on him. muster up some pressure, hit them, sack them, just make them think twice. It's going to be tough because Matthew Stafford is just an elite quarterback. But anyway, hopefully the Colts continue this win streak to start the season 3-0 for the first time since 2009. Hopefully it can be 4-0. That's all I got. I'm the big dog named Austin. Go Colts.